Welcome my channel today. Let's explore the Kennedy half-dollar coins from the years 1971, 1972, 1976, bicentennial, and 1983. This guide will cover circulation, uncirculated, and proof conditions. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a 50-cent piece. It's a small piece of American history that reflects the legacy of President John F. Kennedy, the evolving nature of U.S. coinage, and the minting practices of the early 1970s. Though common in circulation, it holds a strong place in the hearts of numismatists and everyday Americans alike. Following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963, the U.S. government sought a way to commemorate his legacy. Almost immediately, plans were made to honor Kennedy on the half-dollar coin, replacing the previous design that featured Benjamin Franklin. The first Kennedy half-dollars were struck in 1964 and contained 90% silver. Over time, due to rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint transitioned to a copper-nickel clad composition starting in 1971. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is part of this second wave of coins, struck in the copper-nickel clad composition, making it more practical for everyday circulation while still honoring President Kennedy's image and memory. Reverse front features a left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy. The word Liberty arches across the top, with the date 1972 at the bottom. The national motto, "In God We Trust," is inscribed horizontally beneath Kennedy's. Designer, Gilroy Roberts. Reverse. Back. The reverse shows the presidential seal, an eagle with a shield on its chest, clutching an olive branch and arrows surrounded by 50 stars. Designer, Frank Gasparro. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar was minted in 3 different facilities across the United States. Located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, produced approximately 180,000 coins. These coins bear no mint mark. Denver Mint, D-Mint mark. Located in Denver, Colorado, produced approximately 141,890,000 coins. These coins bear a small D mint mark on the reverse side, just below Kennedy's neck. Located in San Francisco, California, produced around 3,269,996 proof coins. These were not intended for circulation, but instead were struck with polished dies for collectors. These coins have an S mint mark. Composition: 75% copper, 25% nickel, outer layers. Bonded to a core of pure copper weight. 11.34 grams, diameter, 30.6 millimeter edge, reeded shape. Round. This composition, known as copper-nickel clad, replaced the previous 40% silver content used from 1965 to 1970. Starting in 1971, the half-dollar became a true base metal coin, no longer containing silver. The Kennedy half-dollar saw moderate usage in commerce in the 1960s and early 1970s. However, by 1972, public use of the coin had begun to decline. Many Americans still hoarded Kennedy halves for sentimental or collector reasons, and vending machines and banks didn't widely accept them. This led to many coins being stored away or used in casinos and banks, but not often seen in daily life. Despite this, millions of 1972 Kennedy halves were minted for general circulation. Today, they are relatively easy to find in bankrolls or coin shops. These coins were made for everyday use but never entered circulation. Condition grades can range from MS-60 to MS-70, MS-60, MS-63. Around $15 MS-64, MS-65, $8-15 MS-66 plus, 30 plus, especially if well struck and without blemishes. 1972 D and MS-67 is particularly scarce and valuable, made specifically for collectors. Highly reflective finish, struck multiple times with polished dies, came in special proof sets, often graded PR60, PR70, PR65, PR67, 4-8, PR68 plus, or deep cameo, D-scam, $10-30 or more depending on eye appeal. Though not common, there are a few known errors and varieties for the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. Double die obverse, DDO. Some coins may exhibit slight doubling on the date or lettering, struck through grease. Sometimes parts of the design are missing due to debris on the die. These errors can increase a coin's value significantly depending on rarity and visibility. Best value. Look for uncirculated 1972D coins in high grade, MS66+. Proof appeal. A 1972S proof with deep cameo contrast is desirable among collectors. Storage. Keep uncirculated or proof coins in protective holders or slabs to preserve their condition. Authentication. If a coin appears unusually shiny or silver-colored, test for plating or alteration. 1972 halves contain no silver. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar represents a blend of historical remembrance, changing coinage policy, and American patriotism. While plentiful in number, this coin still carries emotional and historical value due to its connection with one of the most iconic American presidents. Whether in circulated or uncirculated form, the 1972 Kennedy half is a worthy addition to any collection. Would you like a printable PDF version of this script? Or a visual coin chart showing all the data and values? I can prepare that for you next.
The 1983 Kennedy half-dollar is part of the long-running series honoring President John F. Kennedy, first introduced in 1964 following his assassination. While it might appear like an ordinary circulating coin, the 1983 issue holds special significance. In U.S. numismatics, due to its scarcity in high grades, lack of proof issues, and the broader economic context of the early 1980s. Though no longer widely used in daily transactions, Kennedy half-dollars remain an enduring symbol of American history and leadership, and the 1983 version carries its own distinct place in that story. By 1983, the United States was slowly recovering from a severe economic recession. Coin collecting had lost some of the explosive popularity it had seen in earlier decades, and public usage of half-dollars in commerce was in steep decline. Kennedy halves were mostly used in banks, casinos, or stored away by collectors. As a result, fewer were needed for circulation. Additionally, due to budget cuts in 1982 and 1983, the U.S. Mint did not issue any proof sets, a major break from tradition that makes 1983 a key year for collectors seeking business strike circulation coins in high grade, since no proof coins exist for that year. Portrait. President John F. Kennedy facing left designer Gilroy Roberts. Inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 1983. Design. The presidential seal, a heraldic eagle with a shield on its breast, clutching arrows, and an olive branch. Designer Frank Gasparro. Inscriptions United States of America and half-dollar. In 1983, Kennedy half-dollars were minted at 2 U.S. facilities. Location, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Mintage, 34,139,000 coins. These coins bear no mint mark. Location, Denver. Colorado Mintage, 32,472,144 coins. These coins bear a D mint mark located just above the date. Note, the San Francisco Mint did not produce any 1983 Kennedy half-dollars, as no proof coins were issued that year. Metal composition. Copper-nickel clad outer layers, 75% copper, 25% nickel core, pure copper weight, 11.34 grams, diameter, 30.6 mm edge, reeded shape, round silver, content, none. This clad composition had been standard since 1971, after the Mint removed silver from general circulation Kennedy halves. By 1983, Kennedy half-dollars were rarely seen in circulation. Though millions were minted, most were sent to banks or used in casino slot machines, vending, and military bases. Everyday Americans had largely stopped using them, and the coins were often set aside as curiosities or saved by casual collectors. Despite being struck for circulation, the 1983 halves are not commonly found in high condition due to poor strike quality and wide distribution into channels that didn't preserve their state. Condition. Coins that have seen general use. Show. Wear availability, common value, face value, $0.50 to $1.0 depending on wear. Condition, mint state, MS60 to MS70. Never used in commerce, scarcity in high grades. particularly 1983p Philadelphia. Coins are notoriously weakly struck, making high-grade MS66, MS67 Plus examples. Rare MS63, MS64, 2005, MS65, 1025. MS66, 4100 MS67 Plus. Very rare, can exceed $300–500, especially for 1983p. Although no proof sets were issued in 1983, the Mint did sell uncirculated mint sets that included the 1983 half-dollar. These are a key source of better preserved 1983 halves. Even from mint sets, many 1983p coins still show weak strikes. The San Francisco Mint halted proof production in 1982 and 1983 due to federal budget constraints. This makes 1983 one of only 2 years, along with 1982, in which no Kennedy half-dollar proofs were made. This absence increases collector interest in high-grade business strike coins, which must now serve as the best available examples for that year. Although no major varieties are recognized, collectors keep an eye out for die cracks or die chips, common due to worn dies used in high-volume production, off-center strikes or clipped planchets. These are rare but can command strong premiums. Struck-through errors, where a foreign substance interfered with the strike, creating a unique impression. None of these are standard, but their appearance adds value depending on severity and visibility. The 1983 Kennedy half-dollar is increasingly seen as a conditional rarity. That is, while the coin is common overall, finding one in exceptionally high mint state, especially from Philadelphia, is difficult. As grading standards have tightened, many collectors seek out MS66 and MS67 examples for registry sets and premium collections. These coins, when certified by PCGS or NGC, often command significant premiums. Additionally, the lack of a proof issue makes top-quality business strikes from 1983 more attractive to collectors trying to complete full Kennedy sets with consistent quality. Attribute details: year 1983 mint marks none. Philadelphia. D. Denver. Composition copper-nickel clad total mintage 66.6 million combined. Proof coins: none issued. Common circulated value 0.50 uncirculated MS65 10 25 MS66 MS67 plus. Value 40–500 plus. Espes a 1983p mint set source. Yes, US mint set, no proof set, collecting interest high for MS66 plus registry sets. The 1983 Kennedy half-dollar may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, but it plays a unique role in American numismatics. Due to the lack of proof coins, poor strike quality, and growing demand for high-grade examples, it stands out as a modern-era key coin, especially the 1983p in top condition. Whether you're assembling a complete Kennedy set or simply exploring American coinage, the 1983 half-dollar is a fascinating piece worth closer examination and preservation.
The next step, 1776–1976 Kennedy half-dollar, is one of the most iconic coins in American numismatic history. Issued to commemorate the United States bicentennial, it stands as a patriotic tribute to 200 years of American independence. This special edition coin captures the spirit of 1976, a year filled with parades, celebrations, and a nationwide surge in historical pride. It is the only Kennedy half-dollar to feature a different reverse design, and the only one with a dual date, marking both the founding of the nation, 1776, and the year of celebration, 1976. The United States bicentennial was more than just a date on the calendar. It was a national movement. To mark 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence, Congress authorized the redesign of 3 circulating coins: the quarter, the half-dollar, the Eisenhower dollar. On October 18, 1973, the U.S. Treasury announced the design competitions. The new reverse designs would appear in 1975 and 1976, though all bicentennial coins bear only the dual date, 1776–1976. There is no such thing as a 1975 Kennedy half-dollar. Portrait: President John F. Kennedy. Designer Gilroy Roberts. Inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the dual date, 1776-1976. Design, a detailed image of Independence Hall, the birthplace of the Declaration of Independence. Designer, Seth G. Huntington, winner of the design competition. Inscriptions, United States of America, 200 Years of Freedom, A Pluribus Unum, and $50. This reverse marked a temporary departure from the usual presidential seal that had been on Kennedy halves since 1964. The bicentennial $50 was minted at 3 U.S. mint facilities. Location, Philadelphia, PA. Mintage, 234,308,000 coins, circulation strike location. Denver, CO. Mintage, 287,565,248 coins, circulation strike location. San Francisco, CA produced both proof and 40% silver versions. Mintage, clad proof, 759,099, 40%, silver BU, 11,000 sold in sets, 40% silver. Proof, 4,000 DOS. There are two main versions of the 1776-1976 Kennedy $50, outer layers, 75% copper, 25% nickel core, pure copper. Total composition, no silver used for general circulation. Outer layers, 80% silver, 20% copper core, 79% copper, 21% silver. Net silver content, 0.79 troy ounces. Only sold in mint and proof sets. Weight, clad, 1134. Grams weight, silver, 1150 grams. Diameter, 30.6 millimeter. Edge, reeded shape, round. In the spirit of the bicentennial, the 1776-1976 Kennedy $50 was heavily distributed. Americans were encouraged to save them as keepsakes, and many did, meaning large numbers never saw regular use. However, in casinos, banks, and some local economies, the $50 still had a place. While minted in vast quantities, the coin was more often hoarded than spent. Today, it's relatively easy to find circulated examples, though high-grade and silver versions have become popular collectibles. Common in everyday use visible wear, but design remains intact. Value, 0.50, 150. Depending on condition, never used. May have minor bag marks. MS-60, MS-63. $25 MS-64, MS-66. $60, $15 MS-67 and above, especially Denver Mint. Can reach 50, 200 plausers depending on grading service. Frosted details with mirrored background. Common in proof sets. Value, 4.10, 40% silver proofs. Highly reflective, struck multiple times. Decam, deep cameo examples are prized. Value, $12 to $30, higher for PR69 plus grades. 40% silver BU coins sold in mint sets, 1976, silver uncirculated sets, not released for general circulation. Value, $8, $15 for raw examples graded, MS67 plus, 3100 plus. While no major recognized varieties exist for the bicentennial half, collectors seek high-grade MS67 plus coins from the Denver Mint, tougher to find. Off-center strikes or misaligned dies, rare but collectible. The bicentennial half is often one of the first coins young collectors encounter. While most are still only worth face value in circulated condition, the silver proofs and BU coins hold modest premium value today. The coin is also part of complete bicentennial typesets, often grouped with the 1976 quarter and Eisenhower dollar. These make excellent patriotic displays and are popular with beginner and intermediate collectors alike. The 1776-1976 Kennedy $50 is a symbol of national pride, artistry, and history. Its design honors not just a president, but also the birth of a nation. While plentiful, it continues to be one of the most beloved commemorative coins ever issued by the United States. Whether found in a roll from the bank or as part of a high-grade proof set, the bicentennial $50 remains a striking tribute to freedom, liberty, and the enduring legacy of America's founding ideals. Would you like a printable PDF, a visual infographic, or help identifying a specific coin you have? I can also give you a collector's checklist for all bicentennial coin types. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar marks a major turning point in U.S. coinage history. It was the first year the half-dollar was minted with no silver content for circulation. From a numismatic standpoint, it was the beginning of a new era, one that aligned U.S. coinage with modern metal economics. This coin continues the legacy of President John F. Kennedy, whose image was first placed on the half-dollar in 1964, following his tragic assassination. Though 1971 dated half-dollars are common in lower grades, they are essential to any serious Kennedy collection and hold historical weight in American currency evolution. Following John F. Kennedy's assassination on November 22, 1963, Congress and the U.S. Mint acted quickly to honor him with a new coin. The half-dollar was chosen because it offered a large enough canvas for his portrait and replaced the then-current Benjamin Franklin design. The first Kennedy half-dollars were minted in 1964 and contained 90% silver. Due to rising silver prices and hoarding, the mint reduced silver content to 40% from 1965 to 1970. By 1971, the U.S. Mint fully transitioned to copper-nickel clad coinage, eliminating silver entirely from circulation half-dollars. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar was the first of its kind to be minted in this modern clad composition, making it a historically significant issue. Portrait: President John F. Kennedy, facing left designer Gilroy Roberts. Inscriptions: Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 1971 design. The presidential seal, an eagle with a shield clutching an olive branch and arrows, with rays and 50 stars designer, Frank Gasparro. Inscriptions: United States of America and half-dollar. In 1971, Kennedy half-dollars were minted at 3 U.S. facilities. Location: Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Mintage: 165,164,000 coins. Coins from this mint bear no mint mark. Location: Denver. Colorado Mintage: 302,097,424 coins. Coins have a D mint mark located just above the date on the obverse location, San Francisco, California. Mintage: 3,220,733 proof coins. Proof-only coins struck with special dies and polished planchets. These coins have an S mint mark and were only included in 1971. Proof sets metal composition: copper-nickel clad outer layers, 75% copper, 25% nickel core. Pure copper weight: 1134 grams. Diameter: 30.6 mm. Edge: reeded shape, round. Silver content: none. This clad composition was introduced to maintain the half-dollar's use in circulation while eliminating the cost and hoarding issues tied to silver. While over 450 million Kennedy half-dollars were struck in 1971, public use had begun to decline. Many Americans still associated the Kennedy half-dollar with commemorative value and chose to save them rather than spend them. As a result, although minted in high numbers, 1971 halves saw limited circulation compared to other denominations. Many were used in bankrolls, casino slot machines, and later by collectors. These coins show signs of wear and are very common. Current value: $0.50 to $1 depending on wear. Business strike coins that were not circulated, still plentiful in the market, but high grades are more desirable. MS63, MS64, 25 MS65, 1020, 66 plus, 3100 plusers, especially for well-struck Denver coins. The 1971 D half-dollar is more common in high grade than the 1971 P, which often suffers from weak strikes and bag marks. Highly reflective coins with frosted devices and mirror-like fields issued only in 1971. Proof sets: PR65, PR68, $4 to $10, PR69. Deep cameo, 20-40 plalais depending on eye appeal and certification, PR70, rare, highly collectible. Several interesting varieties and errors are known for the 1971 half-dollar. Some 1971 half-dollars were accidentally struck on leftover 40% silver planchets from 1970. These are extremely rare and can sell for 2,000–5,000 plies when authenticated. Some 1971 P coins exhibit minor doubling on "In God We Trust," or the date collectible and worth premium. Depending on clarity, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and struck-through errors are also found occasionally. While not a rare coin in general, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is historically significant and has some numismatic intrigue. The real value lies in mint state grades MS66 plus proof coins in PR69, deep cameo errors like silver planchet strikes. It's a great entry point for new collectors, offering history, design, and the potential for hidden value. Attribute 1971 Kennedy half-dollar details: Mints Philadelphia, no mark. Denver D, San Francisco, S, proof only. Total mintage, 460 million, combined. Composition copper nickel clad, no silver. Proof coins, yes, only from San Francisco, common value. Circulated, 0-50, 1-65 plus. Value 10, 100 plus proof. PR69 DKM. Value 20, 40 plus known errors. Silver planchets, DDO, clipped, off-center collecting note, first year of non-silver Kennedy halves. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar stands at a key historical crossroads in American coinage. It marked the end of silver in the half-dollar, the beginning of the modern clad era, and a continued tribute to one of America's most iconic presidents. While easy to find, its deeper story, error varieties, and role in modern coinage make it a compelling and collectible piece of U.S. history.